friends, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title, today I'm talking with an entrepreneur. It's him. You may recognize him from my Lake George travel diary. This would be my dad.
Also your moving vlog.
Also my moving vlog. He was there too. So
you gave a wave.
You did. You gave a wave. So this is my dad. Do you want to introduce yourself and the company you run?
Hi. I am Aaron Lee. I own Illuma Agency. It is a digital marketing agency based in Miami. I've owned it for 18 years.
Yeah. I'm the counter. When I was born. Okay, so the idea for this video is I'm just going to go through and ask him different questions and see his perspective from being an entrepreneur. So, my first question for you is, what does success mean to you?
That's a really good question.
Thank you.
And I think a lot of, like in society, people think that means money.
Yeah.
Right? That's like the default answer. But I actually had a conversation yesterday talking about that.
Oh, wow.
So it's kind of
Good
interesting.
timing.
And so I think for me, what I said was having enough income to be able to have freedom about how I spend my time, and to be able to continue to learn and grow, and to make sure that my family is happy, and that I'm, and I think the thing that brings me the most joy is when I get to spend more of my time doing things that I think is my purpose in life.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you heard it here. So the next thing I want to ask you is about what advice you would give to somebody starting their own company. Like, what, knowing now after 18 years, looking back, what would you kind of say?
Yeah, I think, from my experience, when I started out, my business was just to have enough money to pay the bills. And that, I never really went back and updated that idea for first 10 years.
Oh, wow.
So, being really clear, I think the first question about what does success mean to you, really can help you figure out what you should be doing when you start your business.
Yeah.
Because if you know that, the sooner you know that, the better the business you'll run. And what motivates you, what makes you happy, and I think the other thing is really understanding, in the beginning when you start a business, you kind of have to do all the jobs, generally. And the sooner that you can figure out what parts of running a company you're the best at and you enjoy the most, and getting other people who are smarter and better than you at those things to do those things. So that was the first thing that really changed my business, was hiring someone that does all the stuff that I don't want to do and I'm not very good at. So all the bookkeeping and all the administrative stuff and all the details of the running the business.
Awesome. So what is the most important piece of advice that you have received about entrepreneurship and owning a company?
That's a really good question, because I've had the opportunity to get a lot of input from
EO.
EO.
Did you do that on purpose? Aw, he's a thinker.
Yes, so I'm in EO, the Entrepreneurs Organization, so it's this worldwide group of people who own their own businesses, and we get to talk a lot and share a lot of ideas and experiences. So I've heard a lot from that, and wow, the best advice I've ever heard. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
It's a really tough one. To narrow that down.
Yeah.
I think it kind of goes back to some of the earlier stuff of knowing what it is you're really good at. There was a Harvard Business School professor that we saw speak in Boston, Frances Fry, and I think she actually works for Uber now. And she said, what are you willing to suck at in order to be great at something else?
That's really good advice.
Instead of being, average good at all the things, the best run companies are the ones who don't try to be everything for everybody.
Yeah.
They figure out exactly who they are and what they're best
Very
at.
niche.
And then focus very much on that, and then say, we're not going to be good at everything.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I think that's good advice. So, this is kind of a multi-part question.
Okay.
Having to do with failure. How do you deal with failure, move on from failure, and learn from failure?
Yeah, failure is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So failure is this, you're either winning or you're learning, right? Like I heard that yesterday actually, and I thought that was a great way of thinking about failure.
Yeah.
And as long as you're learning from failure, failure is really cool.
Yeah.
But you have to, I think the trap people get is that when they fail, they make it mean something about themselves personally.
Yeah.
And so like failure becomes this emotional thing versus an opportunity to learn and grow and not make it,
creates a wall between those two places.
When you can not take it personally, then the window to learn is open. If it's something where you're internalizing it all and making it all about you and sort of reinforcing this conversation you have about what your limitations are, then you don't really learn from your failures.
That's a great answer. Okay, so the next thing is, what is one thing every entrepreneur should have? Whether it's a physical thing or something inside themselves or a mindset.
I think it's people who can give you an external perspective on your business. Because
people who aren't like too connected to it.
There's a great saying, it's really hard to read the label when you're inside the jar.
Oh, I like that.
And, when you're in your business every day, all the little problems that, show up at your desk or whatever your door, all seem really important because they're right there in front of you. And when you're able to sort of step out and have someone else, and it could be a friend, it could be a peer, it could be family, whoever it is, that someone that you respect, that also, and that's why I'm in EO.
I was going to say, that's what EO is so great for.
Because in EO, all of the people that you're talking to are also entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And so they understand sort of the unique things of, and it's, they've walked in your shoes in some way.
Yeah.
And they can help you really see what you're not seeing about your own business.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Then, which is worse, complacency or confrontation?
Complacency.
Complacency?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
It's not always. I'm not a confrontational person.
Yeah.
By nature, and that has led to more issues than it's helped.
Yeah.
And I think again, it goes back to that, like, making it about you versus what it is you're committed to. Like sometimes if you're committed to something bigger,
you just deal with the confrontation.
Deal with the confrontation.
Even if it's uncomfortable and whatever. Okay. What has been the happiest moment in your business career? Because obviously, if not, it would be the day I was born.
Obviously. Happiest moment in my business career. I've had a lot of good ones. A lot of good ones. Wow. The first thing that came up for me was when I actually got nominated to be the president of the EO South Florida chapter.
Yeah.
I know it's a weird thing to say because it's like it's a volunteer thing and all that, but there's so much of your professional career where you're trying to convince yourself you're good at something and you're not really sure, and like you might make some money but you still have doubts and all that. And I think that moment for me was people that I really, really respected that were all already really successful entrepreneurs and business people basically said, we think you have what it takes to lead us.
Yeah.
And
it was validation.
Yes, it was a huge validation. Yeah. And I was very proud of that because I'd worked hard to learn how to be a good entrepreneur myself already. But it's hard to know. It's like to validate that, right?
Exactly.
And so to have your close, successful peers and friends say, "We think you
You're
can
the one."
do this."
Yeah.
That felt great.
Okay. My next question is, what has been the biggest struggle that you didn't expect when you started your company?
So when I started my company, I was a professional creative guy, and I could just all it took was for me to do good work and relate to clients and help understand what they needed and just manage myself.
Yeah.
I think the hardest thing for me has been learning how to understand and manage other people and motivate people to do good work and to be doing the work that's what our clients need and meeting expectations, and just learning how to go from being a really good professional creative person to being a leader.
Yeah.
And it's a different skill set, and that's I think been the toughest challenge, is learn how to become a leader, not just only rely
good at
on
what you are.
Yeah, a skill set that I have.
Awesome. So then, what has been the easiest thing that you didn't expect? So what was something that when you started your company, not necessarily that you thought it would be hard, but just something you weren't expecting to be so easy?
I think it was that winning business, because when I first started, I didn't have, like I said, I didn't have a plan. I had walked out of a job that wasn't, it was the last days of the internet boom in the 90s, and a lot of companies were just kind of going out of business and stuff like that. So it wasn't a really good time to start a business. And what was interesting was I didn't realize how important my reputation was until I started calling and asking for work. And because of the good relationships and reputations that I had developed with, I called everybody that I had ever worked for.
Oh, wow.
And said, "Hey, just to let you know, I'm on my own now and doing work," and I got so much work so fast.
Wow.
And we've done in 18 years very little marketing for ourselves.
Yeah.
And most of the work that we've earned,
Reputation.
millions of dollars has been on our reputation. And that treating people the right way, not leaving somebody in the lurch, when you leave a company, leaving on good terms, and just the importance of relationships. Whatever you invest in them up front, you may not get it back immediately, but one day it might really pay off. And that was, I think, the thing that was, I thought it would be much harder to get business.
For most people it probably is if you haven't done that. Okay, so the last question I have is, what has entrepreneurship taught you about life?
I think to enjoy it more now. When you look at the success question you opened with, it's not about getting to a place. You have to enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
Because entrepreneurship is hard.
Yeah.
It's hard work. There's a lot of decisions that you have to make that you don't know whether it's the right or the wrong decision. There's problems that come up every single day. There's constantly, it's not an easy thing.
Yeah.
And if you're only focused on getting
to a certain
someplace someday, then you're going to miss a lot of the pleasure of the path itself. So
awesome. Yeah. Okay. So do you have anything else that you'd like to say to the world about entrepreneurship, or anybody who's thinking about starting their own business?
Well, I would say that, not to that, but I just want to say I am very proud of you.
Thank you.
And the work that you did to, put into even creating the channel and all the work you're doing to like learn all these things. And so it's very fun for me as an entrepreneur, as a dad, and as a creative person to kind of see you doing all of these things that to make this whole channel go. So thank you for having me today. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
I'm very proud.
So that's going to be it for this video. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought or what videos you want to see next, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.